Carol continuously abused the immobilized third master, as if she had forgotten the sorry figure she cut no so long ago. I walked over to Carol, put my hand on her shoulder and smiled at her. Are you sure you've been able to live up till now because of the protection of gods? Of course not. Carol's big eyes blinked for a few seconds, and she immediately began to rub her hands together. This small one only managed to live this long, due to the beauty, generosity, strength, and care of Miss Lilith. Advertisements. After she finished talking, she tilted her head in an attempt to rub her cheek against mine. She was acting no different than a dog. Even I have started to doubt if she was really from an affluent family. All right, get off. I pushed Carol's head that was inching closer to my face. So, what was the big thing you were talking about earlier? It couldn't be hunting down old men and doing suspicious things to them, right? I glanced back and forth between Carol and the three suspiciously. It's not a bad thing, humph. I'll show it to you now, then you'll know how amazing I am. After I say it's a bad thing, Carol gets a little angry, then squats down and starts groping around the third master's body. While doing that, she also began to take off the clothes. Doesn't it look like she's doing something improper? What are you trying to do? The third master, who was already badly injured, was also surprised by Carol's sudden actions. He wasn't sure how, but he managed to muster some strength to back away. Humph. Stop resisting, it's futile. Just stay still like a good child and hand that thing over. Advertisements. What thing? The thing you brutes use on pitiful girls. It's roughly this long. Carol said while using hand gestures to measure the item, about the thickness of 3 fingers and length of the palm. To that description, that size, why does that sound so familiar? The third master's face turned white. What do you want with it? Why do you care about what this lady does with it? Just give it up. Then this lady will let you go. Otherwise, this lady will come after it herself. But I can't give that thing to you, the third master almost cried as he weakly growled at Carol with his remaining strength. Why not? Carol slapped the third master's forehead. I'm talking about the entrance ticket to the auction. Why can't you hand it over? 3. The third master stared, scowling miserably before speaking. You should speak more clearly. Then he dug into a pocket hidden in his undergarments that were made of a material I couldn't identify and gave the ticket to Carol. Advertisements. Carol snatched the ticket and gestured with her hand curiously. I'm clear enough, it's about the same size. Advertisements. This chapter is provided to you by Relibrary. The size might be correct, but your descriptions will make others think of different things. I took the ticket from Carol and noticed that it was made from a kind of material I've never seen before. It was neither made from gold or wood. There was an engraving of an unnamed bird on the front and unknown characters on the back. What is this thing? Carol came over and asked. Little children can't know. Wow, Carol suddenly hugged me and acted like a spoiled child. Lilith is clearly a child too, but she always keeps me in the dark. I don't care. This lady wants to know, otherwise, I won't be able to sleep tonight. I said that I'm an adult, and if you can't sleep, then you can't sleep. Either way, I can. I pushed away Carol, who was constantly rubbing her dirty body against me. Wow. Lilith is so indifferent. Carol puffed out her cheeks and turned her head to the other side, huffing, I won't care about Lilith ever again. Oh? Really? Well, since you don't care about me anymore, I'll just leave, and take this thing by the way. I put a lot more effort into getting it anyway. Why? I'm sorry for being so arrogant. Carol instantly turned back and held onto my thighs. Okay, get up, I won't go. I helplessly pushed Carol away with my feet. Really? Carol's tear-filled eyes looked up at me. Really, I answered. Then again, Carol, are you made out of water? You are so quick to resort to crying. Hee, I knew Lilith wouldn't have the heart to leave me. Carol stood up and patted herself clear of dirt. Though that was a pointless action as her clothes were originally that dirty. The gloomy expression on her face changed into a bright smile even quicker than one would flip a book. I rolled my eyes and was speechless about Carol's face-changing skills. If she went to study Sichuan opera, she'd be able to become a master. I shook the ticket in front of Carol's eyes and asked, "What is this thing? Is this the reason you decided to block those 3 here?" Carol nodded. "That's right, I stopped them here for this thing. As for what it's for, Lilith, look over there." Carol reached out and pointed behind me. This area is at the intersection of a T-shaped alley. Since my attention was focused on Carol and the trio earlier, I didn't notice the other side of the alley. I only noticed that now after being pointed out by Carol. Advertisements. At the end of the alley is a dark hole. Where does it lead, I ask. To the underground auction. Underground auction. It's also the largest slave auction in the luminous theocracy. Carol stares at the place, no longer displaying her trademark happy-go-lucky smile, and instead, her face faintly flashes with hatred. "And the thing you have there is the entry pass.